It's 2nd and 3. Keep it on the ground, keep it with Smith, and he stumbles in. Touchdown, Colorado.
Well, for the second week in a row, the Buffaloes only have one touchdown in the ballgame. That was a 25-yard run by Deion Smith. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Buffalo Stampede television show. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, along with Coach Gary Barnett. Buffs 0-2 in the season. They fall 41-10 on the road against Air Force. Gary, this one, the way it started, you had a young football team that put itself in a big hole early and nearly impossible to dig out of that.
Well, it did, and you're playing against a team that is hard to dig out of, especially with the weather conditions and the style of offense that they play. It just makes it that much more difficult. But Mark, in this game, we created some turnovers. We gave ourselves some opportunities. The unfortunate part and the disappointing part is that we couldn't take advantage of any of that, and even committing a turnover on the goal line that kept us out of the end zone. So it's different than last week's game. We had our chances here. And we played better defensively than we did, even though 41 points. But a lot of that is attributed to bad field position in our offense. But, we played well enough to have been much closer in this football game. Could we have won? Who knows? You never know. But if you don't commit the turnovers and if you don't take advantage of your opportunities, then this is what you get.
The take advantage of the opportunities is something that we talked about a great deal during the radio broadcast of Colorado Football Network. Colorado's down 20-0. They come back. We saw the touchdown by Deion Smith, scored 10 unanswered, 20-10 at the half. You come out in the second half, you get a stop first off, and then you get the ball on a short field, get it down, goal to go from the 2-yard line, come up empty, give them a long field, a turnover on downs, then you punt the ball, get another short field. Young teams have got to learn. When you get opportunities at this level, you got to take advantage of them.
Well, and they are young, and there's not a lot of guys to teach them what they have to do. So it's the coaches have more responsibility than you'd want them to have. You'd want them to be able to do game plans and this sort of stuff, but they've got to teach these young guys how to play. And so that's who we are this year, and we're just going to have to get better each week.
So the Buffaloes fall 41-10 on the road against the Falcons of Air Force, and afterward we heard from head coach Carl Durrell. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Tough day for us. Obviously, it was a disappointing performance. We didn't play well. We didn't play to our capabilities. I felt that at times the defense did some really positive things. They got us some turnovers. Offensively, we didn't capitalize on a lot of those plays. We didn't keep ourselves in the game. Second half, we had a chance again. We give up the ball deep in the red zone on the 2-yard line. We also don't convert on a couple fourth downs that we need to convert on. Obviously, they did and we didn't. They played better than we did today, and obviously deserving of the win. So we have a tremendous amount of work to do. We got to find some rhythm offensively at some point. We got to get going there. We went with the quarterback change, and I think that there were some good things, but not so good things. So we got to continue this work and develop this football team. It's unfortunate though that we had a performance like that, but we're going to, the coaches and myself, we're all taking responsibility for it. We're going to keep coaching these guys.
There's the head coach of the Buffaloes after Colorado falls 41-10 to the Falcons of Air Force. We continue with Coach Gary Barnett. So you're the head coach of this team. You got to go back to the drawing board now. It doesn't get easier. Buff's got to go on the road against Minnesota this week. What are you doing with this young team? How are you trying to help this team find its way?
Well, I think first of all, they've got to understand you're all in it together. We're all trying to find a way. We all want the same thing, and you've got to show them. Here's where we made our mistakes. Here's why we made those mistakes. Here's what corrects those mistakes. And then go about going to work. That's all you can do, really. They got hit with bad field conditions today. And that was part. But that's going to be part for everybody. That's something that happens to everybody.
Yep.
Air Force played in it too, but they just happen to have an offense that was more structured for it. But you've got to be patient. You've got to lead. And, it's like being in second grade. You got to take them to third grade. And that's what it is.
Eventually you hope to graduate, right? There's been so much talk about the quarterback situation. Brandon Lewis starts the first game. Relatively effective at times. J.T. Shroud comes out, gets a start. Now when you're passing quarterback, not the greatest conditions today, evaluate what you saw there.
Well, JT had a poor accuracy day. He committed a big error by not getting the first down when he could have. He had tough conditions for what he does, but he didn't throw the ball he threw it sharp, but he didn't throw it very accurately. And he made some throws back across his body that you should be making. And we had some high balls. We had deflections. We had some tough catches for guys that they didn't make them. And so I think accuracy was a big issue for him today.
Yep, the Buffaloes this weekend now are on the road against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. That's a 1:30 Mountain Time kickoff up in the Twin Cities. Gary and I and Bobby Pasavena, we're going to hit there at 11:30 with that one as the Buffs will take on the Gophers for the second year in a row. But they fall 41-10 to Air Force this weekend in Colorado Springs. Coming up next here to Stampede, we're going to talk with our sideline reporter, Andy Lindahl.